Hi, my name is Ellie Oxley and I'm the native English teacher for Gunseo Global School. Our school has been using RealLives since 2021 and I've used it in 2 different classes so far. I've used it to study statistics and mathematics in our big data class, and I've also used it in English reading class. With English reading class, it was mainly to help with their reading comprehension, so to teach them difficult words, but also we used it to compare 2 different countries. So at first the students just played the game, but later it led to them researching about other countries, so they learned about the problems in each country, like the national disasters and main cause of death. And it was also good at comparing the problems that maybe they would not think about growing up in Korea. So the diseases, and like when I played it in China and when I played it in India, I faced very different problems to I would in Korea, such as the problems that you get from political activism and disease at a young age, and also a lot of gender inequality. So that was really interesting for me personally. And I know last year in the big data class, a lot of students were really shocked about the difference between countries like Belize and then countries like America. So I think it's really good for teaching geography, but also to teach them to think outside of their own country, because especially in Korea, a lot of students aren't aware of the outside world as much as other Western countries. So I think it's really a useful tool to get them to think about other countries and problems that affect other people and not just them. What else should I talk about?
No, one is you can describe a little bit about big data class. What does that mean?
In our big data class, it was basically a project where they researched their own data and then made statistical models about it. So at first they studied 2 countries. They studied Korea and 3 countries, Rwanda, Belize, and South Korea. So then they had to look at, mainly we used the data information about the country, like the corruption level, infant mortality level, the wage discrepancy between the genders. So I think when we studied about Rwanda, we also used it as like a topic starter. So they played the game first, and then we taught them about the history of the country, like the Rwandan genocide and the current problems that they have. And then later we actually made it into a writing exercise. So we studied about, in Rwanda, there is a lot of gender inequality in politics. And then some of our students wrote a letter to the UN. We sent it, but they didn't reply, but they did write a letter to the UN talking about the gender inequality in China and Rwanda. So that was a really unique opportunity. So I think we can use RealLives as like a starting point for any kind of project, like in English or politics or maths or science or social studies. So it's a really good tool in any subject. I think any country and any subject can use it. At the moment, it's only available in English and Korean, but obviously a lot of countries can use it in English. So I think.
And what was this letter writing project? I heard that a lot of letters were written to UN, right, from your school?
It was in our big data class.
Yeah.
So it was like, first they studied about they used RealLives to think about the problem, and then they researched the data in English or in Chinese or in Korean to support their argument. And then they did a presentation, and then they wrote a letter stating the main problems they think was the most important problem. Mm-hmm. But we didn't get any replies yet.
Yes, and your personal experience?
I really like it because especially I like to play in countries that I don't really know anything about. So that's mainly why we chose Rwanda and Belize, because obviously in Korea they probably have never heard of them or they don't know anything about them. So I really liked playing in Belize and a lot of very small African countries. And when I played in China as well, it was really interesting, the differences. I was surprised how it was like really stressful living in China. It was more stressful than living in Belize, in my opinion.
Okay, and how would you like to use it differently now in the future?
I'd like to use it again in English class. So I would like to kind of extend what we were doing in English class, where they play the game, and then like we're doing with Kyung-suk teacher in our critical thinking class, where they write a story, like a diary. Because in my current English class, we have a kind of diary writing assessment. So I would like to use real lives to give them inspiration to then write a diary about their life.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? What we missed?
I just think all countries can use it, and it can be applied to all subjects. So I hope some other teachers in our school will use it, like social studies. I think it would be really good in social studies class.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.